Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship here at lovely Spa. I'm Austin. I am joined by Avery McDonald, and in the production booth, it is Mark Barbanera. Avery, welcome to the booth, welcome to the series. How you doing?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Great to be back after a week of, for me, not covering this series, but we're here at one of my favorite tracks, and it's going to be exciting. We got a great SOF, some of the top drivers here in iRacing, and it's going to be a good one, Austin.
Absolutely. Some of the top drivers taking a break from the ongoing 24 hours of Spa happening on different servers around the world right now. So we're just quickly going to take those GT cars and replace them with big fire-breathing Formula 3.5 cars.
Yeah, these Formula 3.5 cars are something else. You know, they have so much speed, and we have some of the top drivers. You see Tim Delisle. You know, he was in the booth last season. Sometimes he takes a couple weeks off, but I tell you what, with that 8,000 I rating, get ready to see some blistering times. Already have in 2 sectors in the purple, so he's really doing very well.
Yeah, Tim Delisle usually up there on the top of the field, and I believe we're about to see him go back on top of the field as he comes through the bus stop chicane and down the front straight and across the line to go, you guessed it, on top of the field.
Yeah, you know, Tim Delisle always puts on a good qualifying effort, but you know, one driver is James J. Pinkster, not usually always the quickest on qualifying. Really, second, Jose Longa takes over second. You know, we saw him win a couple weeks ago, but still got some drivers trying to get down those times.
Jeez, looking at the time gap, Delisle and his teammates, 3/10 separate them, and then 8/10 to Samborski and Pinkster, and Bernstoff, he's gonna try to bridge that gap. The Fury driver sitting in 3rd place now. But James A. Pinkster, we saw him take his maiden win on the series, still driving that matte black car that he's still a free agent on. So some teams are looking at him, but he is one shrewd negotiator.
Yeah, the matte black, very custom livery there for for Pinkster. You know, it's very custom. You know, a lot of design. I'm sure the designers really worked hard on that car, but he's been really quick lately, sitting in the top 5 for qualifying, but still Delisle on top.
Yep, Delisle, Longa, Bernstoff, Samborski. Hopefully Edward has another good race today. Carmo in 6th place, followed by Lopez, Honan, Reed, and Herbino. Our top 10 currently in qualifying as Delisle DRS wide open on this coming out of Corporate Paul Ferrer and through. And Blanchimont. This always happens when I come to Spa. Think I know the corner, and then I just get it wrong completely.
Yeah, there's so many corners here. It's hard to even remember them all. And if you can get half of them, that's pretty good. See Tim Delisle coming in for the finish here.
And he improves on his time, and Pinkster is going to park it at the line and in his grid box. So I think he was doing a practice start right there. On board with Paul Ilbrink, who's setting his first lap, his first time lap, because his time lap last time was actually invalidated. This time he's kept it on the track and off the curb. So easy to extend the track.
Yeah, you have to be, careful with the track limits. Paul Ilbrink, great time up in 4th. And, Paul's usually one of those drivers that doesn't usually qualify very well, but sitting at 4th is a great spot.
Yeah, 4th here at Spa is absolutely great, and you're going to be in great hands coming down lap 1 after you go up El Rouge and Radion as you fly down the straight. But after qualifying, here are your results here at Spa. Tim Delisle takes on pole, followed by Jose Longa, Emil Bernstoff, Paul Ilbrink, Christopher Herbino, Jorge Lopez, Fabio Ducarmo, Edward Samborski, Omar Baja, James J. Pinkster, Phil Reed, Rob Bohr, Steve Honan, Cedric Bill, Ronaldo Augusto, Samuel Pizzica, Thomas Knoll, Patrick Leovet, and Luke Groom in 19th place. As everyone's starting to grid up right now, Avery. Any predictions for this race?
Well, I mean, if I was a betting man, I would say Tim Delisle, number one, but it's still anyone's game. You know, going into this track, you have so many opportunities for a mistake, and we've seen it before. If you make a mistake, carnage. You get up on the curb, carnage. But with this really good SOF, I'm expecting a good, fairly clean race with maybe just a couple incidents.
I'm gonna be completely opposite of you. I say that the start of this race is gonna be pretty jam-packed with some people that are feeling a little bit too confident going up El Radion, and there might be a Formula 3 style pile up at the top of that hill.
Yeah, you'd hate to see it if that was to happen, but you know, anything can happen in this Formula 3.5 series, who's had great racing all season, and I don't think this race is going to be a terrible race. It's one of the top, you know, series, great track. I just love this, Austin. I mean, I'm excited. Lights about to go on.
Lights are coming on, ladies and gentlemen. The 5 red lights are on, and they're up, and we're going racing here at Spa. And it's a great start for Longa around the outside. Tim, side by side, heading into turn 1, and Tim Delisle in first. But oh my goodness, chaos already. That was Duke Harmo up there. We got cars spinning around, and that's Augusto in the wall as Delisle, Longa, and Bernstoff going 1, 2, and 3 through El Radion.
Got some contact with Rob Bohr there, inadvertent contact. He's going to go to the pits. Very unfortunate for him, but look at the slipstream.
A great slipstream move right here. Delisle defending onto the inside. Longa looking around the outside, but it's Delisle, Longa, and Bernstoff still 1, 2, and 3. And the battle for third is actually going a little bit crazy as Bernstoff's off the track.
You got to be careful with these track limits.
And Ilbrink's looking down his inside of, but Ilbrink unable to get anything done off the exit going into No Name Corner as all these cars continuing to follow through there and keep it nice and original. Once more, another off track for Bernstoff and way off track for Simon Pizzica.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of off tracks so far here at Spa, and this is one of those tracks that you have to be careful with this limit because you don't want to get a pass-through penalty.
Yeah, and going wide is Bernstoff, and here comes Ilbrink taking advantage of the situation, and Paul Ilbrink as well as Hermano. Both these guys moving up from that opportunistic move, and here comes Hermano down to the inside of Blanchimont. Side by side they go. Hermano up into third. And now Paul Ilbrink's on his tail. And once more, look down to the inside. That's Bernstoff trying to make up some moves. And oh, they make contact. And Samborski around the outside of Ilbrink. Samborski making up a lot of moves right now. He's currently up in 5th, and he's already 3 spots up from where he started.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is exactly what Delisle, Longa want to see. Those cars behind them, swapping in the relative, just so they can start pulling away and make it a 2-car battle, positive sim racing battle for the win. This is exactly what they want to see.
Delisle is at a serious disadvantage. Let's take a look at the replay of this start. Heading into turn 1, very hard onto the brakes. And oh, just car got popped up there. That's Ducamero. Rob hopped over to the curbs, and then oh, chaos is happening right there. That's Renard Augusto going into the wall. Rob, big hit in the front wing, so he's damaged and in the pits. Bill Augusto and Rob Bohr, those are our current retirement staff just sitting in the pit lane getting repairs for these cars. We're looking at Samborski sitting in 5th.
Yeah, Thomas, no, I tell you, he was part of that, just kind of minding his own business on the right side, but unfortunate for him, but he's still out of the track. Great battle here as we're on board with Paul Ilbrink. Paul, one of the fastest drivers in the field, down 2 spots from the starting position, but still in striking distance for 5th.
Yeah, Paul Ilbrink had a great qualifying session, but in the race, he was very good at making moves, but unfortunately that tight pack racing that we've been getting used to here in the Formula 3.5 cars with these high downforce cars with that very good draft just makes it into a perfect pack racing opportunity as they're going side by side behind him between Lopez and Reed. Nose to tail through Blanchimont they go. Reed looking down to the outside here at the bus stop chicane. But it's going to be Lopez ahead of Reed still in 7th place. And they're actually catching up to the train that Ilbrink and Samborski are caught in. And that's led by the number 11 of Emil Bernstoff.
Look at those times. Everybody's running the fastest lap of the race so far, but Bernstoff just put the quickest lap of the race totally overall. PositiveSimRacing.com. Tim Delisle is trying to pull away from Longa. You got to be careful.
Oh my
here.
goodness, what has just happened back there?
Oh,
Somebody
yeah.
just way off track coming out of spot. You're going to see him just fanning out all over the track. Bernstoff, Samborski, Herberto jumping up into 4th. Herberto very little on the brakes, but Samborski's, oh, he had to back off right there. It's still Bernstoff, so let's ride on board with Herberto. Looking back at, oh, and Samborski got punted by Ilbrink. And Samborski is off the track, and he is furious. And spinning off is Phil Reed. Well, it was clean for a while. There's Paul Ilbrink getting into Samborski, and what's happened to Reed? And Paul Ilbrink gets into Reed.
Wow, that's a very uncharacteristic for Paul Ilbrink, but so unfortunate for Reed and Samborski.
One of the top drivers. Let's ride on board with Paul Ilbrink and see just what's just very late. Little bit of a netcode tap right there. But he did go late onto the brakes and got onto the curb and just drove into the side of him. I don't even think he saw that.
Yeah, it might have been in the blind spot there.
But Paul Ilbrink sitting in 5th. I hope some of these drivers that got affected by that don't have a grudge and don't, you know, try to take him out later on this race.
Yeah, racing's all about having a quick memory. You know, when something like this happens, you just gotta move on, because if you hold it against you or against them, I mean, it's no fun. And we're all here to have some fun. But right now it's the Delisle Longa show. They broke away from this pack that's led by Bernstoff. Well, now it's Christoph taking over 3rd. But you have to, at this track, with how long these straightaways are, it's so hard to defend because you're in the toe for so long.
Yeah, it looks like Longa is actually just lifting and staying behind Delisle. So we're looking at James J. Pinks here sitting in 6th place. Samborski sitting in 12th right now. He's got Reed behind him, who's behind Letovet in that beautiful blue, gold, and black car.
Yeah, you know, for Longa right now, might as well just chill behind Delisle. I mean, yes, they are teammates, but if they can pull away, that's better for the two. Right now, look at this battle.
Gotta keep it. This is looking good. Phil Reed is looking very good. So just sitting on the gearbox of Petro Letovet and that very French Formula 3.5. I just noticed the French flag accents on the rear wing.
Yeah, it's a really cool looking paint scheme there. I saw it earlier today. I didn't want to make a comment about it, but you know, it was really sweet.
Well, it is his team's, but I think he added his own little touch with that French flag accent on there. Well, Longa, I think this is just going to be a teammate 1-2 right now. As oh my goodness, Reed looking for around the outside move of Blanchimont, and Reed, he's got the speed, he's got the inside line. Side by side they go, heading into the bus stop chicane, hard onto the brakes. Letovet around the outside, and Reed with the switchback, almost getting him on the gearbox. But Phil Reed jumping up into 13th. What a wonderful move by Reed.
Oh, what a great power move by Reed. You know, he's driving with a little aggression after the incident earlier with Ilbrink, so he's really trying to run as quick as he can because he's probably a little frustrated right now, which don't blame him, but we got a good battle here with Longa and Delisle.
Yeah, Longa taking the lead now as Delisle goes down into second place. They're followed by Hermano, Bernstoff, Ilbrich, and Pincer. Your top 6 as Reed and Samborski going side by side, almost touching each other. Phil Reed does not want to be touched with the side again today. But the pad driver up in at 12th after getting knocked down the field. He is driving with a vengeance today.
A little lock up on the tires there, but he's driving with a vengeance for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if you tried driving with pad, but I just started driving with pad a few days ago because I broke a wheel. That is impossible.
Yeah, he does a real good job, that's for sure.
Now, the one thing that he does struggle with is tire wear. That's what the wheel guys have on him, but he does have the pace. And going slow is Ronaldo Augusto, and I think he's just going to retire right after this. This is going to be a spin into turn 1 on the curb. No? Oh.
He just said goodnight.
All right. Just good night. This is the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship here at Spa as we enter lap 6 of 18. Just the midfield fight. Just going all over the place. That's Omar Baja looking down to the inside. Hard lockup of the brakes as he's trying to take Lopez. And behind him, Simone Pisica looking very hungry.
Yeah, Pisica, the biggest mover of the race, up 7 spots, so that would have been a very strong run, trying to work its way into the 8.
Paul Ilbrink jumping up into 4th place, and ladies and gentlemen, James J. Pincer making it go 3 wide as he jumps up into 4th.
I took that matte black Formula 3.5 car up into 4th. What a great move. What a power move by him.
He is definitely showing off the power, and I'm pretty sure the P in his name stands for power, even though it stands for Pincer, but JJP, we'll just make it power. Just straight up power.
Yeah, JJ Power making that move. What a good move. Longa started to pull away from Delisle, though.
Oh, yeah, Longa is showing his pace as Delisle is slowing up for a reason. Don't see any damage on Tim's car, but this might show that Longa has been putting the work in, and we might see a very rare upset here.
Maybe Delisle is trying to help the second pack to give them a little bit of toe to catch up.
No. If he did that, I would start calling him just the fixer, and he'll just try to make these races extremely entertaining and competitive and chaotic as, whoa! Pisica making a wonderful move. Trying to make a wonderful move around the outside, but Steve Honan in that Renault car up there tonight, but Pisica all over his gearbox.
Longa puts the quick time. First driver into the 1 minute, 59 second bracket.
1:59.95 for Jose Longa. Tim Delisle in second, still on the edge of that 2-minute mark. And going wide from the track is James J. Pincer, and he opens up DRS to try to break free of Ilbrich and Bernstoff. And off the track is Steve Honan. Honan in that Renault car. Getting onto the curbs. Oh, and he's just lost on his own. Gets buried into the wall, but thankfully stayed off the track, and that could have gotten nasty right there.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those curbs. You get on the curbs, carnage happens. We're taking a look at Edward Samborski trying to pull away from Phil Reed.
Phil Reed, very quiet race today. Well, he had a very exciting first part of the race, but then unfortunately, it's just been muted after that contact with Ilbrich, who is right now just following James JJ Power. I'm going to continue calling him that. That is a cool nickname. In fourth.
Yeah, I tell you what, the power moves he's been showing us the last couple weeks.
Well, let's see on how JJ Power defends from Paul Ilbrink. He's been, well, icy today, I must say. Been looking very cold.
Well, I guess that's another quick time for the session. Ilbrink trying to catch up to Power. Pinks are really trying to hold off the hard-charging Paul Ilbrink, who James Pinkster actually is one spot away from the biggest mover. He's
Yeah, and he's
spots.
closing in. He's closing in on that podium. Herbino is right in front of it, but Power going wide and hopping over the curb. Now, I don't believe you actually get an off track for going out that wide. And I think James might realize that, and that's why he's continued to do that. As this is Steve Honan into the pits to repair that front wing damage. Sam Borski and Reed battling out for 11th as they're trying to make their way back into the top 10.
Yeah, Samborski with the incident earlier with Ilbrink, he's trying to get back in the top 10, kind of salvage the race. You know, fortunately with iRacing, you do have drop weeks, but you don't want to have to use a drop week. So he's just going to try to pull it as far forward as he can get to get as many points.
Yeah, 13-week season. You're allowed 4 drop weeks this season instead of the regular 3. And I can tell you if you... But it's always 4?
Yeah, you get 5.
Oh, it's 5. Well, she doesn't even... Oh. So I'm still in the
hard.
hunts. Yes, math is hard.
Look at that, Radicals online. Paul Ilbrink trying to catch up to Power.
Power is also known as James A. Pinkster for those just joining us and not aware of the inside jokes going on.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed with James J. Pinkster is in this season, kind of floats around the top 8, top 7, but right now in 4th, trying to get that podium.
Yep. He's been a bit of a curse when running in for podiums or wins. He would be in the lead, and it's usually at Brazil on the last lap he would crash out. Not sure if it's just a him thing, but whenever he gets near those top 3, something hairy happens. And here comes Ilbrink looking around the outside, almost getting into the grass. Side by side they go, drag racing down the straight. And Ilbrink, he's in the draft of car ahead, and he's just going to get pulled into 4th place as Lopez and Burnstoff are swapping places, but Lopez around the outside going to stay in 6th place. Samborski and Reed swap for 11th as they're catching up to DeCamaro.
So much action on this racetrack. Like I said, one of my favorite tracks because you always have the action here at Spa. So many drivers trying to make some moves right now. We're just past the halfway point here at Spa.
And wide is Ilbrink. And Cedric Bill's off into the wall in Brussels. And Bill's, his car is trashed already. Just look at that side pod. Very scruffed up, and that is Luke Groom ahead of him. He just locked up, trying to avoid the slow-moving Groom, and he goes hard into the wall.
Yeah, iRacing's got to send the bill for that one.
Yeah, here's Paul Ilbrink going to Poulan, got into the grass, got onto the curb, big slide, and he had to take the long way around and give the place back to James J. Pinkster. Reed down the inside of DeCarmo. DeCarmo was the car that got launched up into the air earlier on in this race, so he might have, yeah, he does have some floor damage.
Nice 3-way battle here, trying to catch up to, I think it's Pizzica. Yeah, yep, that's who it is. Really good battle here. I love this track.
You have to look at the right side of Duke Harmo's car. He just got that big hit of airtime at the start. And there's a little bit of a scrape on that floor.
Yeah, a little bit of damage is going to hurt these cars. Everybody's flirting with the curbing.
Yeah, as we saw in the Austrian Grand Prix last week, curbs can kill off a car and cause some problems with a few winglets. But thankfully, with these Formula 3.5 cars, they're not Formula 1 cars, and so they're a bit stronger with a lot more basic aerodynamics, but still these basic parts produce a lot of downforce.
Looks like Cedric Bill's going to come out.
Yeah, it looks like he's repaired most of that damage as possible. And just trying to finish this race and get some participation credits.
Yeah, I mean, I've said that before in previous broadcasts. You want to get those participation credits so you can get another car on the track.
James A. Pincer started to interrupt it right there. Looked for an outside move, but it was well defended by Hermano. And now it's a three-way fight for the last podium spot. Hermano, Pincer, and Ilbrink.
Yeah, Pincer was trying to make a power move to get into the podium spot, but just not close enough.
Yeah, James looking for some speed on this straight, and it's a big wiggle for Hermano, and he's gonna just give them third place all at once, and that is so unfortunate for Hermano. And now Pincer and Ilbrink drag racing it down the straight for third. And with that DRS open, it is very easy for Paul Ilbrink to be up there. And Hermano down the inside of Pincer. And Pincer is going to let these two fight. He might know that Paul Ilbrink is not being himself today.
The gap has closed for the lead, but we're taking a look back at this little oops.
That's right on board, James A. Pincer. So we just see, I just got onto the curb, and oh, that is a scary way to see a car oversteering and then immediately point his nose directly in your path.
Yeah, that was almost a 3-car wreck, but fortunately they're back racing, trying to get to the top, trying to get that last podium spot. Right now, Paul Ilbrink is in command of the third position.
It's this battle for 6. Lopez and Bernstoff. Bernstoff in that Fury car. And he's been not having the best race. Down 4 spots from where he qualified. And Lopez qualified in 6th, stayed in 6th. Filled back at the start just a little bit. But he's just been hovering around here. And now he's under pressure by Bernstoff.
Yeah, he's been racing with the Fury these last couple laps, trying to get up to 6th. Really good battle here for position. New quick time, Paul Ilbrink, 1:59.5.
Maybe Paul has shaken off the cold and he's back in his groove and back where he belongs on the podium. But with those contacts earlier, does he have damage to that car? And will these two following cars, as James A. Pincer gets the slingshot move down the inside, can Pincer or Hermano catch up to Ilbrink? They go side by side into the S's.
Yeah, what a power move by Pincer.
Just love saying power.
Phil Reed up into the top 10, gonna try to hold off Samborski. Two have been battling all race since contact with Ilbrink.
Yeah, they're looking for that redemption mode, and both of them trying to get back in that top 10. Right now, it would be both of them just losing a bit of iRating, so they kind of want to be in 8th and 9th for both of them to get back into the positive iRating area.
speaking of positive, we're taking a look at the positive sim racing. Jose Longa. The gap has been about 1.4 seconds. You saw in that graphic on your lower right. But Delisle shortened it up just a little bit a couple laps ago, but right now they've been kind of even. We'll see if Delisle can start trying to catch up.
Delisle put in an absolute blitz of a lap, almost getting into the 159s. And so he's starting to speed up, but we're gonna, oh my goodness. 4 thousandths of a second quicker as both of them go into the 159s, but Tim Delisle just almost flirting with that fastest lap overall. But they are so even on pace, it's hard to count a winner between these two.
Yeah, fastest overall so far, Paul Ilbrink, 0.3 quicker than Delisle and Longa's quick times. We're taking a look at the battle for 4th position led by Pinkster.
Yeah, Ilbrink's at the front of this, and Ilbrink's getting Pinkster a good tow. And now it's a three-way fight for 3rd. But Paul Ilbrink, fastest car on track, but I think that was just mainly he got a good tow out of there and had just a wonderful golden lap after that. As Pinkster sitting on his gearbox just half a second behind.
Yeah, you got to be. It's so hard to pull away here, you know, with as long as the straightaways, as I said earlier, you're able to stay in the tow. And Ilbrink really just needs those two behind him to start battling, but as it looks now, it's not going to happen. Delisle is caught up to Longa.
Tim Delisle turning on the jets. And now it's a 1-2 fight for the lead for the positive sim racing boys. And I can tell you that, well, their sponsors are going to be very happy about this fight. And the team owner might be thinking, get the cars coming home. But, you know, we're about to see some fireworks. We're about to see some elbow to elbow action here.
Yeah, we'll see if the lap times are at the line. I'm sure Delisle was so much quicker this lap. Oh, yes, he was. Just about 9/10 quicker.
Well, actually, yeah, Delisle was quicker, but it wasn't the absolute obliterating pace that we thought he was going to have, because he's sitting in that draft now, and with 5 laps to go, here comes Delisle. He got an absolute storm of a run, and now Delisle is on the outside of Longa, challenging for the lead. And here we go. Delisle takes the lead on the straight. Longa around the outside. There's wheel to wheel going into there, but Tim Delisle back in the lead.
What a great move by Delisle as he was trying to pull away from Longa. Taking a look at Phil Reed battling with Edward Samborski on his gearbox, and Pizzica on the right side. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Pizzica is just getting trained by Reed and Samborski as Phil Reed gets up into 9th place. And their next target is a little bit up the road. That's Omar Baja.
Yeah, these drivers, as we get closer to the end of the race, 17 incidents here in the Formula 3.5 series gets you a drive-through penalty. We have 2 drivers with 13 incidents and 1 with 14. So getting really close to that limit, and you do not want to get a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, getting a drive-through penalty is as an equivalent of getting a kiss of death here at Spa. The track is so fast. There is only a few moments where you actually tap your brakes, and this is one of those moments where you just get, on the rare occasion, all the way onto the brakes. And that's Longa behind Delisle, the bus stop chicane, and that's right before the very hard to enter pit lane.
One of those drivers with the 13 incidents, that's James J. Pinkster with 13 incidents, 4 away from the drive-through penalty. But we are on lap 15 of 18, so just a couple more laps to go. Plenty of time to get some clean laps.
Yeah, James J. Pinkster, we saw him do that extremely wide exit out of Radion and El Rouge. And here comes Longa now. He's got the speed, that Delisle did, and he's going around the outside. And now the Positive Sim Racing boys are swapping, drafting, and, well, they're going to swap places again. I thought we were going to see Delisle look down to the inside, but it's too early in the race for that. Paul Ilbrick, though, looking down to the inside and jumping up into third.
Yeah, Pinkster at third for just a moment. Here's another battle led with Samborski.
Ooh, so close on the entrance to that corner. Pizzico was on the inside and almost got collected by Reed.
Update on the incidents: 4 drivers, 14 incidents, led by Pinkster and Chris and Urbano. They both have 14 incidents. Any type of contact could cause a slow pass through. Longa, look at him go. Delisle trying to maintain that toe and try to run down Longa down. 15 on lap number 15 of 18.
That's allowed. Sitting in the draft as they head into the bus stop chicane. But Longa trying to pull away. But I think this is where Delisle wants to be. And I think he's going to be sitting on that gearbox in these final 2 laps.
You know, Delisle might have tried to caught up to Longa. Kind of showed, where I can make a pass and maybe save that for the last lap. Hopefully get a nice last lap pass. I'd take that.
Yeah, last lap pass is absolutely critical here, but I don't think Delisle's going to wait for it. He wants it right now. He's got the speed. He's looking on the outside. Delisle and Longa side by side for the lead, but it's going to Tim Delisle. Longa looked down to the inside, tried to go late on the brakes, but just Delisle is so perfect going in there. Ilbrick looked down to the inside of James J. Pinkster, and he's going to jump up into third right there. That was a beauty of a move. And this is a replay of Thomas Knoll. What's happened here? Oh, he's just got onto the grass, and the entry of Village, they went way off to the gravel trap.
Yeah, kind of got into the kitty litter there. Right, the last couple laps, it's been the Pinkster Ilbrink show for third, back and forth and back. But right now, Tim Delisle out in front, 0.7 of a second away from Longa, making 0.6.
Yeah, 2 teammates at the front, both of them racing for Positive Sim Racing, and they've been the dominating pair so far this season.
Urbano at 17 incidents, who's currently in 5th place.
But that is our incident counter, not iRacing's official incident counter. So we'll see if he has to serve a penalty very soon or not.
Longa's still in striking distance, but Delisle just put on a blistering lap in the 159 bracket, and Longa hasn't ran that for a couple laps.
Longa trying to pull away from Delisle, but Delisle all up in that draft, and he's going to have all the slipstream to him as he's going up El Rusciarati on and enabling DRS, and here comes Delisle. But look at Longa. Longa also has DRS, and this is going to be extremely crucial because Tim Delisle cannot get past it because both of them are using DRS. And Pinkster jumps up into third now. As behind him, Lopez and Bernstoff. Bernstoff looked down to the inside, and Bernstoff getting an absolutely wonderful move on the inside of Lopez.
And Delisle out in front. Longa right on his tail. Let's see how much DRS they have left. Paul Ilbrink, also battling with Pinkster, and he also likes to save his DRS towards the end of the race. Great battles all around. These 2 teammates have been 1-2 all race.
As Delisle sits up in front of Longa, both of them with DRS to spare at the end of this race. It's all about where you use it. And is Dalal using it right now? Okay, no, it was just me thinking crazy thoughts or actually going blind. But he is losing ground to the charging Longa, as Longa not using DRS as well, but Longa's all over the gearbox of Dalal as they head into the bus stop chicane. It's gonna get nutty here, folks, as we head into one lap to go here in the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship. White flag is out here at Spa.
Yeah, Delisle needs to run nice and clean. Can't make any mistakes. A little wiggle from Longa. That's exactly what Delisle needed. Pinkster just puts on his quickest lap of the session in third, trying to hold up Ilbrink.
Well, Pinkster knows how to win here. We saw a very different lap from Longa to Delisle, and here comes Longa all over the gearbox of Delisle. Delisle not even using DRS. Longa not using DRS as they're swapping down onto the inside, to the outside, forcing Delisle to go to the outside. Delisle almost makes contact with Longa as they're side by side into the S's, but it's Longa back into the lead, and now Delisle charging his way onto the gearbox, looking for any opening now as they're wheel to wheel here in the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship. Final lap at Spa.
Still a lot of racetrack left here for Delisle to try to get around Longa. Looking at Orma Baja, Saborski up back to Longa. Longa clean through here, but can Delisle get the toe?
So almost making contact with Longa. Longa had to go to the inside of the track to defend from that extremely well-timed exit out of Poulan. And here comes the final stretch that Delisle needs coming up to Blanchimont. We are going to see some absolutely nutty pass. DRS is enabled for Longa, and I bet DRS is enabled for Delisle. The defense side, the inside is defended well. Now Delisle down to the inside of Blanchimont. Delisle making his car as skinny as possible. Look at Longa. He's got the inside going into the bus stop chicane. Who's going to be the last late breakers? Here comes Longa onto the inside. But Delisle holding around the outside. And Tim Delisle has the lead going into the final corner, and across the line they go. Woo! 7/100ths of a second separates those two, and it's a positive sim racing 1-2. Tim Delisle takes the win by a nose, and here's the move for third, Paul Ilbrink. Cold day at the start, but he's found his feet. Round the outside move. Tried for the round the outside move, but it was a down the inside move at bus stop chicane. Very medium braking for James J. Pister, but Ilbrink muscled his way up into third place.
What a finish. iRacing top 10 come at you. You don't see that too often. Two teammates side by side, Delisle and Longa. Austin, that was just great.
It absolutely was a fantastic race and a fantastic finish. What a defense from the charging Jose Longa by Tim Delisle, letting him have the inside line and opting for the outside line. Wow.
You come to my favorite track, this is what you're gonna get. Another beautiful replay here.
Here's that inside move. Just absolutely beautiful by Delisle. Getting up into first right there. Then around the outside move, and Longa had the breaking point, but Delisle's car was there, and he just absolutely closed the door on that exit.
What a great job by both these drivers, but especially Tim Delisle to get through the final two turns, to get a good run out of that. Whoa, that just, man, I don't see that very often here, Austin. It's pretty awesome.
It is a absolutely awesome thing to see here in the Formula 3.5 Championship. A move on the last lap to take the win. Tim Delisle wins by 7/100th of a second ahead of his teammate Jose Longa. Paul Ilbrink, cold start today, manages to get his way roughly into third, followed by the hard charger, James J. Pinkster on the field, up a ton from where he qualified, ahead of Christopher Herberto, Emil Bernstoff, Jorge Lopez, Phil Reed, Sam Borski, Omar Baja, Fabio Ducarmo, Simone Pizzica, Patrick Letovet, Luke Groom, Thomas Knoll, Sergeant Bill, Steve Honan, Ronaldo Augusto, and Rob Bohr, your finishers today. And we are standing by with our race winner, ladies and gentlemen, Tim Delisle.
Hey guys.
Tim, you sound a little bit too calm for a man to gain the lead with just one braking zone to go. Walk us through that final lap. What was going through your head?
Yeah, it was never in doubt, you know. I always had him, so it was yeah, it went just like I expected. Nah, I'm shaking right now, like that was
So you are human.
yeah, just the adrenaline there, like props to Jose, like it was a game of cat and mouse, like I wish I had a bit more oval racing experience because I think it would have come in handy here. The slipstream is just so strong and it just comes down to, you know, who's in front at the right time. So yeah, we were able to build a bit of a gap at the start and yeah, like Jose was, you know, letting me keep the lead just so we weren't, you know, slowing each other down. And then, you know, I don't know what lap it was, like 6 or 7 or something. He went for it and used a couple of DRS activations to build a bit of a gap, and I just had to stay calm, save mine up, and try to keep the gap around that constant 2-second mark, which thankfully I was able to do. Yeah, then used a bit of DRS to get back in the slipstream. He made a little mistake in no-name corner, which helped me get right back in, because it is like if you're in the dirty air, it is hard to keep that gap. So yeah, I don't know. And then it was just that last lap which I need to catch my breath from.
Well, you certainly have a lot of time to catch your breath for next week. We're going to be at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And do you have any particular memories of the upcoming track? Any plans? Any certain strategies?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good track for me. Yes, sorry, I can't think right now. Yeah, I'm just a bit screwed from that race. Yeah, looking forward to that one, but I just want to take a bit to celebrate this one because I don't think I've actually won a Spa broadcast race before. It was a bit of a monkey on my back, so yeah, to win it and to win it in that fashion, yeah, just I don't know. I'll yeah.
Were you fist pumping?
Yeah, I woke my girlfriend up actually. Yeah, she was trying to get a bit of a sleep in, and my yelling put a stop to that. So, oops.
Well, I think it's time to make her happy after you took that win. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, the team, Positive Sim Racing. We've done a lot of work this week. You know, looking at different different setups, different gear ratios, that sort of thing, and just Jose as well. Like, yeah, it was just so close between us, and yeah, you know, we kept it clean, and it was an awesome battle. So yeah, congrats to I don't even know who finished third. Sorry, but yeah, and you guys for the coverage. So thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you, Tim. You have yourself a good morning. And I believe we're going to Avery now, who is with our next interviewee.
Hey, Jose, you got a copy? We'll see when Jose gets back, but let's bring in JJP. Jose is here, I believe.
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Hello,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
hello.
I
It's
just go to.
okay.
I need
Yeah.
my my quiet.
Oh, congratulations on a fantastic run and a great race. I have to ask, what were you thinking going into the final lap?
Congratulations for lose another time. Oh, was amazing race. Really amazing. I think at the start of the race, I think I have a little bit more pace, and I try to go, and I go, but I go with 2 DRS. Then net, this 2 DRS is a joke because if team used that he can catch me easy. Then when we are close, it's 1 or 2 corners for the win. You don't have more. You have draft. It's very easy to follow the other car now with the same pace. You have 1 second of draft. It's very easy. And I think the key was in the first moment. I think I do a mistake in the 2 laps ago, and I need to use 1 DRS in the after Orush. Um, with it, maybe I will have more easy the final fight. Because I want 2 DRS for the final for the final stride, and then I have only one. And the other key was when I am side by side with team, I keep the curve of Blind Simon, out of Blind Simon. Then I lose a lot of velocity, a lot of speed, and I can't arrive to the stop bus in side by side. I know I need to break later than team, and this is very, 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 very dangerous. I am happy because I can stop the car. He do amazing in this move because he here for the outside and a perfect line. He works perfect in this moment, and then I try to overtake. I think this is not fair, but I don't have any more place to go, and I go out of the track, and I tried in the last moment to overtake, but it's only for the last chance, the last. I don't know it in English. No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, last chance. It was
Yes.
very fun to watch your race. Before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Thanks very much. Thanks to the team, like ever. I don't have many things to do. Team, congratulations. You are very, very. You are a new team for me. You are very strong. And okay, the last week I tell this is your last win. Okay, I think this is your last win. Very good, very very fun. This race, amazing race.
Jose says he's coming for you to Lyle next week. That's our second place finisher. Great run for him. We're catching up with JJP, James J. Pinkster. Hey, James, you got us?
Yep, I got you.
Congratulations on a great race. We were kind of, I wouldn't say joking around, but we were calling you JJ Power for making some power moves out there. How was it from the driver's seat for you?
Wow, I mean, it's very exhilarating driving Spa in the Formula Renault 3.5, particularly in the opening laps. You'd have seen lots of battles going on around where I was. Obviously, for some reason, my quali pace just again really wasn't there this race, so I started down. But I feel like it was a decent recovery, and I can be happy with fourth.
Yeah, you put on a really good race. You were a hard charger for the race. Next week, we go to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Is that a track that you like?
Ooh, Montreal. I feel like that should be good fun. I do enjoy that track, but in this car it can be very difficult because a lot of power, not that much traction, pretty tough over curbs as well. So it should be good fun.
All right, James. Before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank? You?
Not right. I'd like to thank Paul for having a good battle with me on the last few laps. I'd like to thank myself for ruining my setup like an hour before the race. That's a frustrating thing. Spa is probably my best track, and I kind of threw away a chance to fight maybe for the win based on a few setup mistakes that I made. Just gave me a lot of understeer. So it was a frustrating day today. But yeah, I guess P4 isn't that bad.
P4 is not bad. We'll see you next week, James.
Yep. Thanks for the stream.
That's James J. Pinkster, and now we got Austin Knight with Paul Ilbrink.
All right. We got Paul Ilbrink in the booth. Paul, how are you doing?
Yeah, pretty good, I guess. Apart from killed 2 people during the race, but yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about what happened in these opening laps. Your qualifying wasn't where you usually were. Well, you're near the front, but then lap 1, you just fell down the field, and while trying to get through there, unfortunately, got into the back of Sam Borski and got into Phil Reed. What? Just walk us through those situations. What was happening?
Like, I qualified like okay in 4th, I guess, and towards the end of the lap I was really close behind Christoph into the bus stop chicane, but Emil kind of sent it on the inside and overshot the corner a bit, which I had to avoid, so I lost like those positions to him and Eddie, I think. So that dropped me back a bit. Like, I got back on Eddie's tail again, but yeah, I've like been trying different downforce level, and I was like running pretty much maximum downforce on the car, and I think everybody else was like running a little bit less. So like in the draft, it's like great because you have like all the downforce in the corners, but on the straight you can just keep up and sit in people's drafts and even overtake them maybe if they don't have draft themselves. So I was like kind of cruising behind Eddie into that corner, and yeah, I guess I got caught out a bit by how early he had to brake with the less downforce in his car, I guess. So yeah, just my mistake really. Like, ran into him, shoved him off the track, and I'm really sorry for that. And then in the aftermath of that, I was like a bit shook up by that, and I didn't notice that Phil was on my right when I was overtaken by Jorge, I think. So I just swung to the right, and Phil was there, and I shoved him off the track as well. So yeah, not my best driving standards that race.
Well, next week we're heading to Montreal. Any plans for that week?
Win the race.
All right. That's a big ask. Well, we're going to let you go and practice for next week because according to Jose Longa, next week is going to be Tim's. Well, today was Tim's last win. So hopefully y'all can do some tag teaming and try to make that prediction come true. But before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Well, I want to thank Jose for making those great plans with me, and I'll work together with him on that. And I want to thank you guys for doing a nice broadcast, and my teammates at Radicals Online, and our partners and sponsors, Armor Centrum, Cranfield Simulation, Track Racer, Joe Real Timing, Turn Racing, the MOATF Podcast, Six Sideways, and Pixel Dust.
All right. Thank you, Paul. And now that my voice is deciding to deteriorate after a wonderful race, I'm going to leave it to Avery as I go.
F's in the chat for Austin's voice. I tell you, what a fantastic race we had here. Tim Delisle brought home the win with Longa saying he ain't coming, he ain't finishing in the lead next week. But man, what a great race from all of us here at Apex Sim Racing, Apex Racing TV, excuse me. We have Marco Barbonero, who destroyed the cameras. Absolutely phenomenal job putting on a fantastic show. Austin Knight for not having a voice anymore. Thanks, Tim Delisle. Thanks, Jose Longa, for that. I'm Avery McDonald. We'll see you same time next week, Formula 3.5 at Montreal. Night, night.